My name is Dr. Lee Grimes, and I'm a counselor educator at Valdosta State University. It's located in South Georgia. And I'm thrilled to be at the White House convening to discuss school counseling issues. My passion is around counselor education issues, particularly those concerned with school counselors in rural areas. And so that's what I wanted to talk about for just a few minutes. I think that we have to include setting when we're thinking of college and career readiness, that rural areas have some similar yet striking differences from some of the areas where people are school counselors. And there are several of those ways that they're different. Rural areas have fewer resources, and so when we're talking about just the sheer number of people who will be able to share the information surrounding college and career readiness, there are fewer school counselors in rural areas. Many times there's one school counselor for a couple of schools, and so you don't have even that ratio of 1 to 400 that we see in some places, or certainly not that 1 to 250. There are fewer tools for school counselors to use in rural areas. We talk about a lot of different college and career access tools, but a lot of those are very expensive software packages that have to be purchased to use in the school system. And rural areas just many times don't have the money for those tools. And then also there's just the sheer number of there being fewer people with whom to collaborate in rural areas. Rural school counselors need to be able to connect with their community stakeholders, just as school counselors do in other areas, in order to increase college and career access. But they don't have as many people to do that with. Families can sometimes be a factor that also make a difference in rural areas. Since we know that the college going rate tends to be lower in rural areas, some families are just afraid. They're afraid that their sons and daughters are going to be different from them. And their sons and daughters, as a result of that, are also a little bit more afraid to take that leap. And so I think there's the importance of school counselors being able to respect that cultural difference that might happen in rural areas. And so these are just a couple of reasons. There are a lot of different ways that college and career readiness could play itself out in rural areas in terms of education, advisement, and the counseling of students and families. And so I think that as counselor educators, we need to look at specific strategies that would help to make school counselors the most successful that they can be in increasing college and career readiness for rural students, just like we do for everybody else.